How old were you then?
I had 23.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I got.
Oh, you got more than that,
Oh,
Mom.
really?
Now let's just go back. So you got married there, but let's just jump back to being in Windsor. Um, you were in nurses' school, like at the hospital, at the
Yep.
Grace Hospital,
Yep.
during the war, right?
Yes. Yes, I
So
did.
what was it like in Windsor during the war? Like
Well,
what was the
uh,
feeling there?
well, actually, we had a military uh, 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 military part of that hospital. The people on, like all soldiers or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
sailors or anything.
And
Uh,
say the name of the hospital. That was the
yes,
what was it
the
called?
great hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and like military,
Mm-hmm.
what are it called? The thing is that's what it is. They maybe uh, about maybe maybe 40 beds on that,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know, and it was, you know, it was very, you know, they were they were sick,
So
you
this
know.
is servicemen brought back who
Oh
ended
yeah.
up in that hospital.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But what about sort of life generally during the war, like in Windsor? What was that like? Did you have to go to Detroit at all, or?
Oh yes, yes, and uh, we used to have this is like before my nursing, and we sit on there like have tunnel from Toronto, from Detroit, and they come in there from a lot of guys from, yeah, like uh, going over here to join,
Mm-hmm.
and we had, oh, there were guys from uh, uh, Texas and all things, the big hats and everything. I thought it was. I mean, I was looking. We were just looking at. We were just looking, you know, at lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to. Sure, we went to. We. I went to. From. I went to. From. We didn't have a um, book from. We had. We couldn't have. You can't buy any shoes
In
because,
Windsor.
yes, or anyway, you had
Why
to
was
be,
that? Why couldn't you buy shoes?
you had to because if I wanted a pair of like um, shoes on the States, I had to be a little tear up, uh, you know,
Informed.
yeah, no, like a little part of means. So anyway, I want that. I asked my aunt
Mm-hmm.
from Georgina. She was living she lived um, in
Hamilton.
no, she lived in uh, Coos Bay in Oregon.
Oregon. Yeah.
So she called. I said, could I have Christmas time, my birthday? I'd love to have one of your. I could make a one pair of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So she said she gave me. She mailed it, and so I bought that and across to Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
and this my shoes that I'd like them.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that, and we used to when living in Windsor. You just thought about going out there and taking the bus across the my tunnel,
Mm-hmm.
and you get you off, and right in the middle of Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
and they have beautiful like uh, Hudsons and all these beautiful, you know, and we did a lot of things, and we did a lot.
Didn't you tell me one time about your capes that the nurses had were quite roomy?
Well, yes, I went to, I had my cape, my nurse's home, and I went to that uh, in my and I thought I had money, I guess, to buy. So I thought I think it was 3 pairs of my shoes. Of course, this time we always thought about, you never thought about, like, uh, you wouldn't say for nothing, because these the customs, you would just make sure it's got to be hiding or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I made my cape on the back and this on my waist, and I walked there, and they said, "Have you anything? Any? No, I've not. That's fine." I said, "Goodbye."
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy, because we used to that many.
So you used to go to Detroit a lot.
Oh heavens, no! We tried to buy them because
And of course, and in the 40s, like Detroit wasn't in the war until like
No,
the States weren't in the war
no,
until later.
no.
4 or something, right? So,
Well, I think because should be they were, because I got this her picture, like tickets for, like it has to be there on.
yeah.
You can't, because.
Well, so even then they were starting to ration things.
Oh, that's right.
And
They
that
were.
was your
That's
thing
what I
with the
meant. A
tickets, was
ration
the
book.
Shoes were
Yeah.
rationed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you only could get so
Yeah.
much. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I went to training.
Mm-hmm.
I took my ration pictures, because there have butter, sugar, and all these things that
Mm-hmm.
they have to go, like the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's well, that's
Good. And now, what about? Now, were you still living at? You were living in residence, weren't you? When you
yeah.
were
Oh
in
yes,
nursing school?
absolutely. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And were you keeping in touch with Gert and Art, like a lot? Did you see a lot of them, like?
Oh sure.
Yeah.
I was in the same city,
Yeah.
for heaven's
yeah,
sake.
But you were still. You were
Oh yeah.
close with
Oh
them.
yes.
What was Gert like? 'Cause
Well, of course, I did smoking. Of course, it is like my hospital could be like Salvation Army.
Mhm.
There's no way ever think about thinking smoking, because that'll be smoking. They'll put you out.
Mhm.
So I went down there, and had my part of my uniform, and then I rushed down the front and got the bus.
Mhm.
So it'll take me about 20 minutes or maybe half an hour
Yeah.
to go there. I walked there. My mother's and they lived in an apartment, and I used to whoop up there, and of course then I can drink, I can smoke if I want. And then my mother would have we have tea or something, and we had a little talking about, we're just like a visiting,
Mhm.
and then I go up there, I go there, and go back there in the bus, and back there, because I had 2 hours.
Yeah.
I only had 2 hours,
Yeah.
so this is what I went. So this is many times,
Yeah.
many.
So were you pretty close with Gert?
Yes.
Like we were.
Yes, I
like
was.
when you were young and that. And
Yes,
obviously older, you
yes.
guys were
I
pretty
think
tight?
mother is. I was clinging my mother most of the time
Yeah.
when I was young, and I was still there until she died.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you have any particular stories about Gert, like when you were little? Like anything?
Well,
that comes to
all
mind,
I
or
remember
things that
is
she did, or-
then she went to Hamilton,
Mhm.
and I think there was maybe 4 of those kids. I'm not sure, with maybe 3, maybe, and she was driving Model T,
Mhm.
and she would drive
Yep.
her to Hamilton.
Mhm.
So anyway, then after that, she would. I didn't know that she was, I thought, shaking. The thing is, coming back then, our road are very, that time is some like dirt roads.
Yeah,
I mean,
rough roads,
and
yeah.
she actually she went down and closed the from the ditch and we under into a cornfield.
Oh yeah.
My mother.
How old was she? Is this when she was little, like, or
Well,
when
no,
you were around?
no, that was I say maybe 10 of my brother,
Yeah.
and it'll be
Yeah.
I can remember that,
Yeah.
but because he had to when coming back she had hold it up on her back like her uh, doors.
Oh yeah.
You open up, and I think though that I think that she never worked anymore. Maybe
No?
my father did probably.
But she didn't work after that?
No.
Was she, so she was injured or just
No, no,
that
no,
time
no,
she
no,
just,
no, not
so she
no.
didn't work?
But she said, I thought probably her father said, I'm not.
Yeah, enough of that, eh?
Yep.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
And so was she good? Did you get along with her better than the rest of your brothers and sisters? Like, were you the
I
kind of,
think I had a little. Yes, I think so. Um, but she was always the same. Like the children are the same, But my mother had. She had a little problem with her stomach ulcers, and I think maybe, I don't know how many years, maybe 4 or 5, and she went down we went to Detroit, and she went to like Sanders, is a beautiful restaurant, and we had this, and she said, after that she come back, and she said, I think I'm going to go to Europe. See, this is why, see, mean just throwing up. I thought it was going Europe.
yeah.
I said, I was thinking, don't take me away, please. I thought I was going to Europe. That was just one of those things that I was just, as I said, I was very clinging
Yeah.
more of my mother because I went to, my father took me to, from a circus in Detroit, and I don't know why I got it, but I was here, and I was watching. I've never seen anything like that. And anyway, these people from trampolines, I was just amazing. They just going there all the time. I thought, wow, that's wonderful. I'd love to do that. So anyway, I was thinking about myself. So I said, I'm going to take my best friend. She's living behind us. Said, take my bedroom. And so I said, this is what I got. I went over there. I did my neck, and I couldn't breathe anyway. Yes. One day, another. I thought.
So you flipped on the bed, didn't
yeah,
you, and then landed
yep.
on your head.
And thank goodness I went down the steps as quickly as I can. My mother was going to be in the backyard, so I went down both by hand, and I couldn't speak because then, of course, they moved around a lot, and then I would, my neck was okay. But I'll tell you, she said, Mom would say, what happened? You seem to be white. I never told her. I never told her anything.
Oh, is that right?
No.
So she never knew?
No, never. But anyway, those are one of those things that just happen.
Yeah. Now, it must have been, Art was quite a disciplinarian and like a no-nonsense guy and had a pretty good temper on him and all that. And so between him and Bert, that must have been...
Well, he was much like, he was the boss, of course.
And what
And
was his job? What was his job with Ford?
well, he was the head of customs.
Oh, custom.
Yeah,
Yeah. Not
and
with Ford or
in Ford, yes.
yeah.
And eventually, something happened. There were another like head of the customs,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually they, I thought, or like I thought from like steel or something back from United States. They thought it was all right. However, it should be like customs. It should have been that because, I mean, so anyway, I'm not sure, but it was something about that because they fired him.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and he and the other man, he he was had nothing,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they got the money for the
Severance. Yeah.
So anyway, and he said, "I will not. I can't. I'm not going to. I can't. I have to. I've got 4 children, and I said I've got to keep this book, my job."
Yeah.
So anyway, they did.
Mm-hmm.
They make sure it's just lower up.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yes. Oh yes.
So was this Canada Customs or was this Ford?
No,
Was he with Ford or was he with Customs?
you're always Ford.
Ford. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So they just, I mean, he has a big, a very, I mean, it's a big
He'd be
job.
a manager.
And now it's just, so he said, you could get a job all your life if you want to,
Yeah.
but that's, you never,
Okay.
mm-hmm. So anyway, that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he did.
Yeah.
So he was in the,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, oh, yeah.
What's up?
Anyway, that was fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He ended up as he went to Ford for many years. From all he did was pick up steel from all like
Mm-hmm.
Gary
Indiana.
and Pittsburgh and all these,
Yeah.
because their war didn't have steel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So this is what he did
Mm-hmm.
for years and years.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Do you have any funny stories? Like anything funny about art? Like any
Well,
crazy thing?
no.
Yeah.
Well, he had really had he. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I had I probably from myself. I had a close from my relation from my dad for some reason, but I was very mad. He drank too much, and he's like abuse for my mom. Not nothing like that, but it was just one of those things, and he he did it. But I heeded that,
Yeah.
but I like him, but the first time and the last time, and I went down there, and he went into his things. So he went down and he went to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
This many times.
Mm-hmm.
Said, so I went down and I saw him into the hotel. I walked in and he was there, and he was lying in the bed. He said, "Well, then if you want to, don't even think we don't care about you. Don't ever think about that. We've had enough." Mm-hmm. So I went down, and I was. Now he's pretty, Oh yeah, we got lots of flowers and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've heard that many times.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was,
So he's a character.
yeah. But especially living by himself. My mom died, and he was. I mean, I really liked him because I could, he's a great person do like all the world, like politics, and I mean, he told me more about the Russian and all these things, and it was, you know, it was very nice to have that. It was just, you know, like I'm sure I've got the same thing. If I'm worried, I'd rather have a newspaper to read other than a book. So,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's good.
I think that's it.
That's it for that point. So now let's go back forward. So now, so you're married and living in Southampton, and with George.
Yeah.
So what was it like? You were only in Southampton